Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great day here in Georgia. For those who join us, we do a little bit of everything on this channel: DIY, automotive, pinball, machining. Oh man, side by sides, you name it, we do it. But today we're talking all about the star ceiling, because a lot of you have asked questions that have seen the video on how this thing was installed and want to know how well is it held up. Now, it's officially been a year since we installed this thing. Now, I've only uploaded the video about, what, 11 months ago? So not quite a year since the video's been up, but this has been installed for a year. And honestly, well, we've had zero issues out of it. The light box is still producing light very well. All the effects are just like they should be. We've not had a panel fall down. We've had none of that. Remote still has the original battery in it to change whatever color you want to on this thing. There's minimal features on this little remote, but honestly, you know, we mainly keep it on the white, or I even like, some reason, I like the kind of the purplish. I don't know, it looks cool. But now let's turn the lights off to really give you guys an idea how this thing looks. But it has held up very, very well. We've not had any panel issues with them falling down. We've not had any issues with the light box. You can see the goobie around the outside going crazy. Now, for those of you who haven't seen how we actually built these panels, I will put a link up here where you can go back and check out the original install. Sorry, it's not great quality, but you know, first video, truthfully. But basically, just to give you a quick summary, these are four 4x8, 1-inch thick panels that you get from Home Depot or Lowe's. They're foam panels. We then wrapped them around the outside with metal trim. Then we came back with it was a street suede material that we wrapped them in. That's a black finish. And then we drilled a bunch of holes, put the little pieces through it, glued them on there, and basically they snap up into place by a outer perimeter ring that we have of magnets. So we've had zero issues with any of it. Zero issues with the light box. We've had zero issues with the panels falling down, trying to fall down. None of that's happened. But if you do want to take them down, you can basically pull the panels down. They're just magnetically put up there. But our light box is actually hidden. It's really hidden back up in here. There's actually a big cutout. I'll find the link back to it where you can see it. There's a big cutout square there that is in the ceiling, and there's a piece of trim that can go up in there, but we just actually have it open. But now I do have some pieces of the suede that line just in the seam area here to line it so you don't get any light bleed through. But overall, like, it's done very well. Now I will tell you, you can see little streaks on the camera here in the suede. Here in person, you cannot see any of those streaks. Those streaks are basically depending on how you like rub it and lay it, you know, lay the grain, I guess you would say, down. But you can't see it to the naked eye standing here. And the seam, you know, the seams where they all come together, yeah, you can see the seam a little bit, but it is way harder to see these seams in light, you know, in person, especially with the lights, you know, all the lights on. And when you turn the main lights off, forget it, it hides. All right, so real quick deal, I do kind of want to go through some of the functionalities of this. It's a pretty basic kit as far as there's not a huge amount of functions in it, but there's more than enough for a star ceiling in my opinion. Now, I don't have the Goobie light set up on my phone. It's actually on my dad's phone. So I've got it on his, but not mine. So I'm not going to be able to show you that. I mean, the Goobie lights are on the outside. These are the M1 Matters, so you can do tons of functions with them. But when it comes to the actual star ceiling and light box, you get this little remote, and where we have the box mounted and stuff, we don't have any issue with this. I mean, you could literally sit here and start changing colors. So what I'll do is I'll show you some of the functions that this thing has, and we'll go through it real quick. Here is the remote and the functions. Now, of course, you could pick any color that you want, and whatever color you pick, you'll see in the background. Of course, it's out of focus, but there you go. Whatever color I decide to pick, it will change to that color, and it'll stay on that color. So you can pick, on this remote, you can pick any of the colors that you want there. Now, you also have your brightness and your dimming up here on the front. So let's just go back to white, for instance. And then we're going to brighten it up as much as we can, which will be there. And then we can dim it down as much as we want, which will bring it down to here. Now you could do that with any color as well. So we're gonna bring the brightness back up. And what you're seeing is actual twinkle going on as well. Now if you actually look on the remote here, you have motor speed plus and minus, which is really hard to get to focus. But there is motor speed plus, motor speed minus, and motor off. So if we take and turn the motor off, of course there is 0 twinkle. Now you can hit the motor off again and it'll start back twinkling. This is if you speed up the twinkle as fast as it'll go. And then this is gonna be slowing the twinkle down as slow as it'll go. So we'll keep pressing it down. And that is as slow as the twinkle you can get there. Also gonna have on this is a bunch of little presets. I say a bunch, there's several. Jump 3, jump 7, fade 3, fade 7. Now basically those are functions. Now the 3 represents there as a 3-color jump or a 3-color fade. Jump 7 is basically a jump of a 7-color jump and a 7-color fade. So if you hit, we'll do the 3-color first. So the 3-color jump is gonna be this function here. So you're gonna go red, green, blue. Then you have your fade 3 colors and it's gonna fade between the red, green, and blue. Which technically I guess you get more colors than that because it's fading. And then here's your fade 7 though, just to show you. Here's a fade 7. Just get a little bit more in depth of the colors. And then a jump 7, of course, we're not gonna spend all the time. It just jumps between the colors. Then there's also a function of flash here, and that's the bottom right-hand corner, flash, and well, this is what you get with flash. It's just basically turns on and off. Then you have a breathe function as well that basically just kind of gradually fades out and gradually fades back in. And the last feature on here is the music on or off. And since this does have an app that goes with it, and I don't have it on this phone, but if you were to set it to your phone, you can turn on the music and whatever music you play through your phone, it's supposed to basically dance to it. Now my daughter will get in here and she'll, just pick colors randomly because she just loves doing it. She's little, so works out good for her to play around with it. But honestly, we leave it on white or either even the pinkish purple colors. Just, I don't know, kind of like those colors for some reason. Feel good with the game room. But we don't really, we don't use any of the functions mostly. I mean, it's just we mainly pick a color and stick with it. So there probably are some other some other ones out there that may have more functions and stuff, but it's a star ceiling and we didn't really need all those functions. Didn't really care for all those functions, but it's got more than enough than what we need to. We can turn the twinkle on and off. I mean, this is 1,550 stars. I believe it was 1,550 stars that is in the ceiling. I mean, it is a massive amount of stars in there. Now, one other thing I did not mention, and I forgot to mention this, is that they're controllable by this switch on the wall. I say controllable. Basically, we have that wired to an outlet. So when we flip this switch here, then the outlet comes on, which then turns on the star ceiling and the Gooby lights, and we get that. So yeah, I would wire it up on a switch. That way it's easy to turn it off. You can do it by the remotes and stuff of that nature. But for us, we generally have everything set. We can come in here and flip the light switch, boom, done. We have our star ceiling going. So just something else to keep in mind if you want to do this. You don't have to, but it's literally just flip a switch and it's on and off just like that. So makes things a little bit easier, not having to pull out a phone or grab the other remote. Where did you set it at? You can just kind of set those to the side until you're ready to change functions. And other than that, you just flip on your switch and you're ready to go. But we're gonna end this video off here. Just want to give you guys an update, kind of tell you a little bit more about it. Some of you haven't seen it. Put the link, like I said, up in the screen, down in the description as well, back to the original install video. I said, I apologize, it wasn't as good as it should be, but it was one of my first, so it is what it is. But yeah, if you got any questions, put them down in the comments, let me know. Other than that, we'll catch you next time.